You need to try and pick off the units as... Look at the shields on the Martin.
Oh my god, the drone's gonna
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the IGN Pro League Season 2 with myself, Total Biscuit.
And me, who is the Apollo.
Then I bring you mOoNan in the red trunks. He is playing Terran to the southwest of this particular map versus his opponent, the one and only Drewbie. In the green trunks to the northeast, he is also playing Terran.
And they are both playing Terran on Xel'Naga Caverns, a two-player map. It's all going to be about positional play on top of the gold or the back base, depending on which they play for, will depend on where they'll want to position up. Because if you can put a stranglehold on the opponent's third base, you're going to be in a great position.
Yeah. Positional warfare, tank, ground control, that kind of thing, always very important. Admittedly, we are going in with a player who is known for his aggression in the form of Drewbie. He tends to get very aggressive with his drops. And what would you say that mOoNan's style is probably going to be going into this first game?
Well, I don't really know mOoNan too much because he's been playing in the American server. He's now in Korea. So I don't really know his style too much. It was kind of widely open to me. I suspect going into this game that he's going to be playing safe, as this is the loser bracket, and he doesn't really want to be knocked out anytime soon, obviously. So I suspect him to play quite safe, and I suspect he's going to be a kind of a macro-orientated player simply because he's been practicing in Korea recently, and that is their style. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a very macro-orientated, execution-based build.
We shall see. And here comes the gas right here from mOoNan. Interestingly enough, no gas from Drewbie as of yet, so we could potentially be looking for an expansion. We could also be looking for some kind of double barracks play.
Yeah, I don't think double barracks is so popular in this matchup. I think that what he will be doing is looking for a fast expand or adding on a lot of barracks before that, but most likely the most common thing is to go for a fast expand very soon and then add on like 3 barracks or add on a double refinery depending on what your plan is.
We'll find out very shortly, folks. There we go. Drewbie's barracks is now complete and looking for the orbital command transition. And now his mineral count is starting to get fairly high. Admittedly, he's building that supply depot down at the bottom right there. Doesn't really indicate anything, just keeping that out of the way, giving him some nice bit of vision against drops later on in the game. And that mineral count continuing to rise, so I think we're going to see an expansion fairly shortly from him.
Yeah, mOoNan did scout everything scouted. There was no 2 refineries been put down, so he knows there's no gas at all. He's just going to go ahead, scout the Xel'Naga towers, make sure there's no hidden barracks anywhere. And we, obviously, as the superior people in this game, see that it is going to be a fast expand build. Compared to mOoNan down here, who's going to be added on the factory, super normal timing. And will he be going for a second refinery? If so, that means he'll probably be going for Banshees. With Cloak, without the refinery being added, it probably could still be Banshees without Cloak, or it could be some Hellion-style play.
Yep. There is no question about that. Lots of possibilities right there. Drewbie deciding he wants to build all the way down the bottom. He doesn't want to get contained very early on that one. And mOoNan is actually starting a reactor up, so we are thinking Hellion play, I think. That's actually kind of late, though, considering the timing of the reactor and the timing of the factory.
Yeah, we'll have to see what that's going to develop into. Definitely going for a gas-heavy style, getting that second refinery. And maybe be adding on a tech lab onto the factory, then switching it up with a starport. We'll have to see. Meanwhile, we do have 3 barracks now gone down. Are we going to see a 4th? Yeah, a 4th barracks gone down for Drewbie now. So he's going to be very defensive. In the meantime, could also be offensive with this amount of Marines.
Yeah, he's got a lot of options. This is actually a very similar setup to what we saw versus Tarson, and it worked out very well for Drewbie. The 4 barracks Marine aggression, still no gas, so I would think he's definitely going to go for it, and I wouldn't really blame him. However, of course, he is going up against Hellions for the looks of it, and actually it's only 1 Hellion into a tech lab, and then there is a starport up there, so what would you say this indicates? Because this, to me, has a wide variety of possibilities.
It still is, and he's going to use the Hellion to go ahead and scout, to double sure, make excellent confirmations that it is an expand. How many SCVs are there? Has he transferred a lot? And meanwhile, in the background, he's going to be getting the Blue Flame Hellion upgrade too, and using Hellion and Marines, probably a Medivac too from this starport.
Interesting, very interesting. Hellion drops might be effective here, and looking to get the mineral count, he needs to start off his first medevac, which begins right there. And needless to say, that's going to limit the amount of Hellions you can really get out of there. He's not actually even building another one right now.
Yeah, indeed. So it wouldn't be surprised if he kind of fell back on an expand after this. Going to do a lot of damage because he has to. When you face up an opponent who goes fast expand and you don't, you have to do a lot of damage. And there might be a confrontation in the middle of the map here. A lot of Marines from Drewbie have moved down. And mOoNan is moving forward too.
Well, Drewbie has the Marine count advantage right here. He actually sees mOoNan moving out, and it looks to me you want to get an engagement right here. I don't see why he wouldn't. That's to his advantage, and he's able to get aggressive right now. And when it comes to Marine count, needless to say, Drewbie's going to have the lead pretty much this entire game if things stay the way that they are. Looking for these Hellions, however.
He's taken about 3 or 4 Marines without losing any. The Medivac is out, though. It's going to help a lot. And with this Hellion, too, I don't think Drewbie can do too much here, but we'll see.
Well, it depends on positioning, really, I suppose. If he's able to get a good lineup against that Hellion and gun it down rapidly, he'll be okay. But he doesn't want to risk it right now. Second Hellion following that one up right now. A Banshee Cloak as well for mOoNan. This is a very interesting strategy.
Yeah, a lot of resources been spent on this one base now. And Drewbie knows that as well. He knows that there's no command center, no fast expand, so he's going to go ahead and throw down 3 bunkers now. And excuse me, because he's got this command center, he knows he's got the economy lead, he knows he's got more SCVs, and that's 30 to 26 at the moment, 2 orbital commands compared to the 1, so he's just going to play very defensive and keep his lead.
First drop from mOoNan, perhaps coming in to follow this one up. A couple of Hellions, in fact 3 in total, moving forward, and deflected very easily by those bunkers. The bunker placement is very solid. It's going to be difficult to run that.
And so he's going to have to elevate into the main base, but there are a lot of Marines already here. I would have preferred to see them on the edge of the cliff, but...
Yes, he could have denied this. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to. That's at least 2 Hellions in there as well, so that's a little bit messy. And Drewbie's going to have to be very careful now with the positioning.
And Blue Flame Hellion is going to do so much damage here. Total biscuit!
Wow! SCV's coming off the line. That's messy, and mOoNan could really go for it right now if he's able to get the firepower on. He loses 1 Hellion, and Drewbie defending fairly nicely. And that was actually not too bad at all. I think he cleaned that up quite nicely.
54 food versus 43 of mOoNan, and his command center is only at 75% complete, so that's well defended there. Didn't do enough damage at all, and guess what we got down the left-hand lane?
It's a Banshee.
Cloaked Banshee.
Yes, it is, and that is not what I would expect if I were Drewbie right now. He knows about the starport, but he saw the medevac, so surely he can't be expecting Banshees.
I mean, how much gas has he spent? He spent gas on the Blue Flame Hellions and on the medevac and starport. You would not be expecting a Cloak Banshee now, and this is going to really throw him off.
Yeah, and of course he starts the medevac just a little bit too late as he sees the Banshee coming forward. The medevac, what am I talking about? The missile turret. Yes, they both begin with M, they're both equally valid. So mOoNan is picking away at the middle line of Drewbie right now, which is causing him a lot of problems, and he's also able to start sniping off a few Marines. Got 6 kills on that Banshee up until this point, and looking for some more opportunities right here. Let's shut down that missile turret. He's going to have to pull everything off that line to make sure that he can finish the missile turret and actually take that Banshee out. But this is great harassment right here. That's going to be a 10th kill by the looks of it, coming in right here for mOoNan. And he's even able to take a few shots at the mule, not able to take it down just yet. There's another freebie. This is unpleasant. It really, really is. And there is another Banshee coming in as well.
Yeah, and that's great. This is what he needed to do, was do that damage. He didn't do it with the Blue Flame Hellions and Marines, but he most definitely did it with this Banshee. It's going to keep it alive as well.
Close right there. Excellent micromanagement there by mOoNan, who takes out 14 kills with that. Looks for some attacks over here. And Drewbie looking for the interception. He finally nails it down, but there is another Banshee hanging around, and another one on the way.
Yeah, it's just on the natural at the moment. Now it's going up, and still hasn't taken that expansion. Let's look at the SCV count. Still very equal. 33 SCVs for mOoNan, 32 now for Drewbie. But Drewbie does have his expansion up, still producing 2 SCVs at all times, so slightly ahead still.
Yeah.
But mOoNan definitely equalizing this game.
Yeah, well, I think it comes down to the amount of harassment that we've seen coming in there. We saw some harassment with the Hellions, and then we saw some harassment with the Banshees. And this is mOoNan's sort of, I suppose it was just a substitute for not having so many expansions, and that was unpleasant. That was a misjudgment right there, very much so, by mOoNan, who throws away a Banshee.
And a big supply block here, has been for a long time for Drewbie. Stuck at 70 supply for a very, very long time, and it looks like mOoNan's now going to catch up, as we're at 73 to 78. And he's finally overtaken in that, and he's also got Stim just starting. Stim a little bit faster for Drewbie now. But map control definitely in favor of mOoNan now, and moving around the map. How many tanks does he have? 2 tanks now, and 0 tanks once again for Drewbie.
That's not optimal, no question about that. You really don't want to be going into a tank war without any tanks. It doesn't tend to work out very well. Those Marines are currently unupgraded. We can see a +1 upgrade coming up for him. He will have his Stim, but still, unless he starts to get some really aggressive drop action going on, mOoNan is going to overtake him.
I think he might be able to kill this small force from mOoNan here. I think if he stims well and spreads well, he can take it out. But we're going to have to see if he's able to do that spread.
Yeah,
he is moving down, though, now, and he does scan and sees exactly what's happening here, so could be close.
Yep, and mOoNan doesn't want to engage there. He thinks it's a little bit too risky. A hardly player is going to pull back to his line, and he was looking to secure that third on the gold, but looks like he's not going to be able to get that at all. And that's an interesting placement for a command center. Needless to say, he's going to hop it down there, but hey, wall off for the command center. Why not?
And this Banshee doing a bit of damage to reinforcements. 4 kills now. Gonna maybe pick up a couple more. Maybe deny that third command center. Maybe it won't see it though.
Oh, yeah, it will. There you go. It will see it, no question, and it'll be able to at least shut down the SCV, so that delays it for a little bit of time. It can't kill it, and of course the scan will probably involve the Banshee tank. I don't know, actually. No, the Banshee will get away from that without too much of a problem, so never mind. And still, mOoNan in a good position right now. We can see a couple of drops from Drewbie looking to come down at the top of the base, and actually, mOoNan is not well defended against this at all.
Yeah, this is how you want to be playing against mech. It's just abusing their immobility. And unfortunately for Drewbie, it is scouted, but will he be sending out another one? No, but Banshee doing a lot of damage on the mineral line. Here now, 7 kills. Gonna get a few more, and he's found a hole where there's no turret.
mOoNan has absolutely fantastic Banshee play. I don't think anyone can really deny that. And 11 kills, and then finally lose the Banshee, totally worthwhile. His Banshees have been doing some fantastic work up until this point. So I'm really pleased with how mOoNan's been able to do that. And as a result, he's been able to take the lead in terms of SCV, simply because of the number, the amount of harassment he's been able to do. And if he's able to push out and secure a third, this will be great for him. But needless to say, Drewbie is already looking to do just that, and is pushing out aggressively on the field with a large number of Marines. Now, here's the drop coming in from the side. However, mOoNan is not quite prepared for it. He was looking for it on the corner, and mOoNan has been forced to stim in. Ooh. However, the interception's looking good. He might take it. Nicely done there. Very good pickup by mOoNan.
And does defend that well, and that's what he needs to do, but Total Biscuit at the same time. Look at all these Marines slimming down.
My, oh my, oh my. It was deliberately timed there by Drewbie, who unfortunately runs right into more of the siege tanks, which is not ideal. And Drewbie is able to pick off the last few at the side right there, but still, I'm not liking that right now at all. It is unpleasant. He doesn't want to charge in there.
No, he definitely does. Not with a bunker and 5 siege tanks. Definitely needs to pull back, get that third base up, but there is a Marine here. Which is going to deny the command center. Unfortunately, cannot squish one single Marine. A drop at the bottom on mOoNan's natural here is going to get cleaned up. Just 2 Marauders and a couple of Medivacs.
Yeah.
Just doing a bit of damage, though. Medivacs are healing them.
Nothing to really worry about too much. I mean, they'll be able to pick off... That Marauder actually has 10 kills, by the way. That's pretty ridiculous. But, yeah, the amount of workers lost was not critical, although Drewbie has now taken the lead again as a direct result of that. Drewbie forced to now drop to deal with this right here, and is now pushing his way through the rocks as well to try and secure a path. Now, mOoNan really needs to get an expansion up right now. He needs to be able to secure it. The problem is that he does... Well, he's actually managed to build his tank force up quite nicely. He didn't have a huge amount earlier, but he's definitely got a good number now. He's got 7, so securing this third on Xel'Naga shouldn't be a problem with Terran at all. And he's going to take gold, whereas his opponent Drewbie is actually only taking the back right there.
Yeah, indeed, and we do see a drop now coming down to the third base of Drewbie. Full Medivac, full of Marines. He doesn't see it, unfortunately.
Oh dear, that's not good at all, and Drewbie is well out of position for that one, and this is going to clean up very, very nicely. That's a lot of mules are coming down, and of course Drewbie charging away, and those Medivacs are coming in, and unfortunately they don't have anything. And he can fix up the SCVs, but yeah, it was a good little drop, and he's out of there as well. Nicely played.
And the gold base is up and running now, but not quite saturated. Drewbie keeping on top of things here. 142 supply versus just 112 at the moment. And Drewbie slowly moving down now. All these Medivacs are going to kill this drop at the top left, though. And it is finally cleaned up. Loving the supply depots on the right-hand side. Perfect scouting, so you can see if anything does come down. But it's all going to be about here. Can Drewbie crush this now? He has a lot of Marines. They are 1-1 as well.
Yep, and huge number of Marines right here for Drewbie. However, the question is, will he attack before that level 1 infantry armor is up? To be fair, though, it's the tanks he needs to worry about, not the Marine count from mOoNan, who's sitting on 21 versus 55. Yeah,
indeed. He might be able to do some kind of pincer move, but the Planetary Fortress here as well is going to help out a lot to stop any attacks from the right-hand side flank. So we'll have to see how Drewbie's going to do this. He's going to take a gold base of his own, though, which is pretty smart, actually. But I think this is going to be pretty tough for both players to engage. Always so close to try and engage with Terra Mirror.
Yeah, it's always the case on Xel'Naga Caverns. Once you both take your third, it becomes a bit of a standoffish kind of situation for a while. And the fact that mOoNan is now working on his level 2 infantry is interesting, considering his timing's not so amazing. But that's a good little bit of flanking right there from Drewbie.
And a drop as well into the main.
Nasty, yes. That is a big drop as well from Drewbie. In he comes. And mOoNan's actual reaction reaction to that is to push out, and he loses his third in the process. Unbelievable. And right now, that drop from Drewbie is devastating mOoNan's forces. He's looking to try cancel. If he can cancel the level 2 weapon upgrade, that'll be absolutely fantastic. Fire is raining down right here on the engineering bay, and mOoNan looking to trade, but he's out of position. He can't really do much.
Yeah, he's going to go down to that third base now, and all the SCVs are being pulled off. We'll be able to kill some Marines here, but look at that backup by Marines, and tanks are going to clean this up.
Nicely done. Nice flank there by Drewbie, who's able to clean that up very easily. There's the engineering bay down, and Drewbie currently gutting mOoNan's base in a very brutal fashion. It's not nice. Another one going down, and mOoNan is getting shredded.
Really, really smart play here by Drewbie, and I'm absolutely loving his TVT in the IPA Season 2.
Oh, yes. Yeah, but he is on the ball. There is no question about that. Any doubts about Drewbie should have been washed away by his TVT wins, of course, first against Tarson, and now takes a game against mOoNan in a fairly convincing manner.
And abusing the immobility of just going for these tanks and try to control the middle of the map, dropping all over the place multiple times. And really throwing Moment on the rocks there. And smart play by Drewbie. Excited to see how he'll do in the next game.
Yep, he's doing very, very well indeed. And we'll be going to the next game very shortly, folks. Don't go anywhere.